Hey, so I don't want to do this right, so I wrote down a few things, so don't bear in mind with me as I'm reading. I believe I get my thoughts better down on paper than trying to come up with them on the fly. So here we go. I used to watch SerpentZA and Laowhy86 on ADV China for many years. I think when they started was about 2014. I'm not sure when they started. ADV China kind of came up um, around around a few years ago. So my favorite show was ADV China. That's what actually brought me into their individual channels. Um, so I was subscribed to everything, and but the first show I watched was ADV China because at the time I was looking for some guys. If there's anybody riding motorcycles in China doing a documentary or kind of videos about China, because I really liked the documentary Ewan McGregor did with his friend on Long Way Around and Long Way Down. So I was kind of looking for that kind of adventure show, and I found it. And most of the stuff I did agree with what they said. When I first encountered their channel, I noticed they did speak a lot of truth from what I experienced, especially when you consider the Western perspective of looking into China. I love the fact that they were on two wheels and they could explore anywhere they wanted. Besides, I felt like Winston was a cool guy, a nice guy. He's always polite, courteous to everybody. And they did those two documentaries, and that was quite positive documentaries when I see, showing their love of the country. And Winston, as soon as he got a DJI drone, I mean, he was a great promoter of it. Like the B-roll and the just drone footage he got just really got me engaged. So eventually, I bought myself a DJI Osmo Mobile 2, which is a gimbal for your phone, a little stabilizer, just because there's promotion of the brand so much. But no, sad to say, in the last few years, last couple of years, and especially since they moved back to the States, well, at least the Matt Sea Milk moved back to the States, and then Winston came afterwards. So now they're both living in the States. This was the first sign I started to see that him and his followers, I didn't really like what I was seeing. There was a significant crossover, and they were invited to China Uncensored, which is a channel known to have a bone to pick with China and showing the worst of China in every possible light and by whatever means. And I didn't really like that. Um, didn't agree with the kind of people they were collaborating with. Second problem I had was the use of their wives in their videos, which you don't see anymore, maybe for good reason, especially with Winston's wife, opening up each video with the phrase, "Welcome to another video." It was kind of cute, but innocent, seemingly innocent, kind of cringy because she didn't really know, and I'm sure she didn't know what kind of content he was putting out, and the amount of bashing her husband was about to unleash about her country, and in so risking defamation to her country, to her to her family. I mean, it it was something that I just ignored over time. I just, yeah, I was like, does she actually know? And yeah, because of that, I kind of started to watch less and less, especially his own personal channel. Um, but on the meantime, good or bad, there was something to learn. I would just take it with a grain of salt, what they say. But the last straw for me was the video they made blasting a few YouTubers that went on a trip with I Chongqing to do some videos. It's more of a promotional stuff for the tourist company, and also like good for their own channel. They could show the dam, like the size of the dam and all that. That's all the video was about, was just showing the dam. It had nothing to do with politics. But these guys jumped on it, went on Twitter, started bashing them. They called them their friends, but even they went on, made a video about this. And I've been following these other YouTubers for a while now. I mean, one of them I've been following for years, so I know his intention. Um, because he's quite open with these and personal with his own videos. So I know what kind of guy he is, from what I can see. And what's funny is that they're trying to land base this company as supported by the government, but they're actually a small independent company with a handful of people. They're just trying to do business, trying to expand their business and using YouTube with that and connecting with YouTubers. Um, so this tourist company was actually contacted by one of the YouTubers who wasn't in the video, but he collaborates with these guys. He connected these guys saying because he was out of the country doing his own things. But he connected with these guys, with them, with Ai Chung Ching. And so this guy made about I think he said he has like 50 hours of footage that he put together for just the city Chongqing. So he really loved the city. So he wanted to promote it more, and he found this company, Ai Chongqing, and they're a small company, and they're looking to, grow, do business. And so he want to show how great the city is because he loves the city, and they want to show their city. I mean, that's what this company is all about. I mean, it's a tourist company. They want to attract people to the city because they think their city is amazing. So that's what they do. They love the city so much. They help each other out. They just wanted to do business like most Chinese. He wasn't in the video, but he made this collaboration happen. But anyways, these guys got land-based on ADV Podcast, which is another channel that Laowhy86 and SerpentZA have now. They called these YouTubers friends, but used them as a tool in their program to show the audience that they were white monkeys or Wu Maos for the CCP, and blatantly fabricated an email from that tourist company. They said, oh, that tourist company sent us this email, invited us, when in fact there was no email. This was all done on WeChat privately. So they made up this email, and you'll see it in their video if you look it up. And some of those YouTubers replied to it, and I also made a video about it, the Three Gorges Dam propaganda video. And you can go check it on about the whole story about that. I mean, I don't have the whole story on there, but I'm just sharing a little bit more here. So they did all this they just fabricated all this just to say, see, all those positive China YouTubers are just CCP shills. And that was it for me. I was just like, come on. Like, they've done this in the past. Now they've done to some YouTubers that I actually watch for a long time and actually know their content. And it's just ridiculous. Like, they're just positive guys and like to put positive stuff out and defend all the wrongs and the lies. And that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing this. I think the only reason, and I would have to say this, the only reason that these guys were attacked is because they're becoming more popular, and they didn't like the collaboration, and it kind of looked a bit too strong for them, too strong of a opponent, I guess. Maybe it's because they're so deranged, with their narrative about bashing the government and China, that they just can't think clearly anymore. To land-based a friend because of your clouded political bent mind is not a friend at all, and out of touch with human dignity, in my opinion. I don't watch SerpentZA or Laowhy anymore as of now because I've lived in China for years. I don't need anybody to tell me what living in China is like, and their views just got more and more rambly and clickbaity, and they just take like a 2-minute topic and just stretch it out for 20 minutes, and it's just pointless to watch. Now that it's all anti-CCP material and generally all negative about their experience in China, I lost interest. To be honest, like, almost every single immigrant in Canada has at least been made fun of for not being Canadian and asked, where are you from? Or been told, go back home, at times during this pandemic. And probably even before that, there's probably been racist people like that. Even when they don't personally need to, but they do suffer from even politicians and people on TV talking about, and this is more in the States, not so much here. And then them talking about kicking out immigrants from our country because they're taking our jobs or, so I have no sympathy for them, for SerpentZA and Laowhy86. Every time they talk about being so hard to integrate into China, it's hard to integrate even in the most multicultural country like Canada. Sometimes you're just not accepted. I mean, people respect you, but I mean, in their eyes, you're always going to look like a foreigner. They just got tired of not being able to accept the way that things are in China. And the fact that there are many people still coming out of poverty that don't have the same education as those in the big cities, many of them never meet a foreigner and are always curious. And this is what they never got used to, these two guys. And I guess they just loved their Western lifestyle and just wanted to go back. Couldn't live with it. I don't need to watch their content to know what China is about. I only watch their content because I love China and miss living there. But now they've really turned me off with their constant negative content. To me, it's a terrible way to make a living. It doesn't help anybody, and it just makes matters worse for Chinese global relations. At least if anybody's taking them seriously. And at least if those who watch his content don't have a level mind and have a very narrow media-filled perspective on China, it's damaging. I mean, it's damaging. It doesn't help anything. You're just filling people's racist attitude and giving them excuses for it. Not only does their content damage the image of Chinese people, but it also gives the impression that white foreigners are insensitive, overprotective, dominant, and morally superior wherever they go. It paints a bad image to foreigners in China. At least when they get their content posted on Chinese media by Chinese netizens. That is why I and many others are trying to change this view. And as you can see, there are far more foreigners with positive content on YouTube. They're popping up so much in the past few years. Fortunately, there are many popular foreigners on Chinese media platforms. And 99.99% of Chinese people are very hospitable and welcoming towards foreigners. And they can look past those idiots and just laugh at them. So this is my message to SerpentZA and Laowhy86, Winston, and Matthew. If your channel is predominantly purposed to bash the government and society as a foreigner, you have no right to act like that. You know the country and the people better than they do. You are right. You will never be Chinese because you're not. So get over it. Don't be butthurt about it. And being China's first YouTuber doesn't give you any credibility. You can move on. You're not going to change China. The Chinese people will not cause division and civil reform over you and your comments. They laugh at you. They don't take you seriously. You're not that important. And you clearly don't understand them. You are not the ones to free the people from oppression. Stop acting like heroes. Leading people to believe you're in good intentions while patronizing them between every defamation, twisting the truth, and manipulating your audience is demeaning. You are unable to handle any criticism from what I see. You're the ones with glass hearts. And you cannot handle a rational debate without calling names from what I see. It really shows how immature you are. Well, those are the things I have to say. That's if anything that they said about why they left is true. I watched C-Milk's video with Prozzy recently about his escape. I watched the escape video as well. And yeah, there was things wrong, especially with the airport part. But that's the last video I watched. I just don't care anymore. They're not so important philosophically. Now they're making videos in the USA, Vietnam, and China. I think they're trying to continue the kind of feeling, the ride bikes kind of thing, but I'm off. I mean, It has nothing to do with China, but yet they still talk about it. They really have nothing to offer on the channel anymore, so they stretch the truth. They latch onto any news or viral topic they can keep on their to keep people watching their channel, keep it going. As of now, they have detached themselves from China, and it looks like their family from China, and that's quite sad. If that's the truth, I mean, it sounds quite dire, but don't think they're telling the truth, and you shouldn't expect it. So they're no longer relevant to me. They know that they cannot carry on the same content from within China, so their channel can only survive by making anti-China videos now. And it's quite a turnoff. So, what do you guys think? Comment below. Give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.